In today's video, we're going to talk about how dieting is hard.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella, ProPhysique.com, and today's video, again, coming to you from a weird location. I'm shooting at a weird time. My generator is running outside, which I'm very thankful that I have, but it's also as loud as a damn car engine, because I'm pretty sure it is. But anyway, so yeah, I'm inside shooting at a weird time. The light's weird, the audio might be off, whatever. We're gonna talk about today's topic. One thing I wanna mention with life getting thrown out the window the last 4 days with hurricane preparations, hurricane here, post-hurricane, is just how much you really learn to appreciate when you have things good, and how sometimes you don't really appreciate it till it gets thrown out of whack. And you know, there's times where I find myself like a little bored with how life is going. But it's nice when you get kicked in the nuts like with a hurricane like this and you realize, gosh, boring is really awesome. Yeah, the most difficult part for me is just how much stress it's placed, you know, my wife under, my son under, the rest of my family, friends that I'm, you know, that are involved in this. You know, Lauren's stuck in South Florida, her boyfriend's a firefighter, my buddy Jason's a firefighter. So many people have been affected by this, so that's just the biggest impact. And then I just can't wait to get back to normal life, right? So we're very fortunate here. I have my generator running, so I have power. Otherwise, there's no power in my neighborhood. I think that's the biggest downfall post-hurricane, if everyone's healthy, is just that power is not restored. So, you know, whenever someone says, oh, did you evacuate from the storm? Well, just because the storm's gone doesn't mean you can come back home. Those people that evacuated still have to wait for power to come back on, which can take more than a week. In some instances, I've heard the 22nd of September is when power is coming back on for areas near here. So just crazy to think about how good we have it sometimes, that we get to complain about dumb shit. Anyway, let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is brought to you by my former self. And my former self was an idealist. When I got into coaching, when I started coaching, I thought, here I go, I'm gonna do things the right way. I'm gonna make every perfect decision. I'm gonna make sure everyone's healthy, make sure everyone's happy, and make sure that no one has issues, right? Well, guess what? Just not the way it can be done. And the reason I wanna talk about this is because when I go through preparations with clients and I notice things are getting difficult, right? Cardio gets a little high, calories get a little bit low, and we still have a ways to go to get into condition. What do? Well, it comes down to the individual, but at the end of the day, you just have to do what needs to be done to get in shape. Now, the reason I'm talking about this as my former self is because I didn't always do that. I haven't always been the best coach I could possibly be. And I think that's part of the evolutionary process of coaching. Anyone out there who's ever worked with someone, I think our biggest fears as coaches is that we're gonna make a mistake. But sometimes the mistake can be not pushing someone hard enough, not pushing the gas pedal when it needs to be pushed. And one thing I recall as a competitor is the feeling that I wanted to be pushed harder, because what mattered most to me was the result. Not the fact that I was on 100 grams of carbs a day or that I was doing an hour of cardio. That didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was the result, that I was putting in the work to get the result I wanted. Now, a good coach is going to know how to balance pushing hard enough with talking to the athlete and making sure they're in a good place, right? Because for some people, that may not be the right decision. When some people get very low calorie, very high activity levels, deep into a diet, and you say, listen, we got 5 more pounds to lose, we got 10 more weeks, we need to put the gas down and get there. And they may say, it's not me. But for those that want the result, for those that are willing to put in the work. For myself, for my current self as a coach, it's become very important because I've let some people down. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh, you know, I've done a great job with all my clients. I've let some people down because I had the misconception in my head that I need to do things the right way. I need to protect them. I need to ensure that they are healthy, that they do well after prep, because I've seen some horror stories. But those clients that were less concerned about how their well-being was and more concerned about the result have been let down. And so I take it very seriously when I let someone down, and I try to correct it. And the one thing I've changed is that we're gonna get the result. At this point in my coaching career, I have gained the confidence to make the decision to say, you know what? This is what we have to do to get there. Are you willing to do it? And more often than not, people are willing to do it. And I know, as a competitive athlete myself, when I came from playing sports to getting into bodybuilding, when the going got tough, I feel like that's when I thrived. When other people would be complaining, or when other people would be like, I've had enough, I would feel like, no, I'm just getting started. And so it's not going to be easy to be successful. There are more people competing now than there ever have been. There are more divisions, there is more competition, there are better athletes getting involved in the sport. And if you want to be successful, you're going to be willing to put in the work to get there, right? Now, there's still a lot of preparation that goes into doing things, because although things are going to be difficult, they don't need to be unnecessarily difficult, right? And that's where the skill of coaching comes in. Because I see a lot of people that come from the cookie cutter coaching, and while they get the result, they were unnecessarily ridden into the ground, and they were not given the proper instruction on how to get into shape and then how to come out of contest prep without having eating disorders, rapid body fat regain. I think that's where the biggest difference is. So as a coach, I've struggled up until the last year or two maybe to really push my athletes. That's not the case anymore. I have the talk. I say, listen, here's where we are. This is what we got to get to. This is what we're going to have to do. Are you ready? And it still amazes me how often I hear someone say, F yes, let's go. And I guess it shouldn't surprise me, because that's my mindset. That's my thought process. When I'm going to get on stage, or I'm going to enter a fat loss phase, or this doesn't even have to relate to competition prep, because for a lot of us, I think we get into a mode where we're losing some fat and we're getting leaner, and then we kind of hit a sticking point, and we have to ask ourselves, are we willing to do what it takes to reach that next level? Because sometimes you can have this pie in the sky mentality, like, well, it should be pretty easy to get to my goal. I can promise you, if your goal's worth a damn, it's not going to be easy to get there. You're going to need to push. And if you're new at coaching, I know a lot of people are getting involved in coaching, and I encourage that, because the coaching in this realm is going to weed out the weak, because it's very difficult. It sounds very nice to sit down on a computer and coach people, but what I've learned is that I don't want to be on the computer and coach people. I want to be in person. I want to be talking to these people. I want to understand where it's going. And not everybody wants to do that. That's the difference. And so when people get involved in coaching, I've had a lot of people quit, retire, say to me, you know what, Paul, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's perfectly fine, because it's going to weed out the people that should not be doing this. It's not for the weak of heart. Myself, 6 years ago when I got into coaching, scared. I was very scared of doing something wrong, of, you know, making a poor decision. Luckily, I was kind of eased into coaching, and I have since, you know, had a lot of experience, worked with a lot of great people. I can't thank my clients and my mentors enough for getting to this point, but guess what? We ain't done yet, folks. We're just getting going. And so I just wanted to make a video to anyone out there who's a coach, competitor, and talk about the fact that if you want to get to an extreme level, as a coach, a competitor, whatever it may be, you're gonna have to go and do some things that probably don't fit the "this is healthy" mantra, right? This is, don't let your fats go below this. Don't let your cardio go above this. Don't let your calories get below this. Nope, you're gonna have to push through. There's probably gonna be a few genetic outliers that are able to get shredded and do great and keep their calories high, and they maintain lean body fat and feel great, but that's not gonna be you. It's not me. And it's not who you're working with, right? It's gonna be very rare. So be prepared to do what you need to do, but just make sure you have the conversation with your coach if you feel like you're not being pushed hard enough, and have the conversation with your clients if you feel like we need to be pushed harder, but you're not sure because you're not sure where things are at with how they're feeling. It can be really reassuring as a coach to hear from a client, let's do this. I need to do it, needs to be done. That's gonna be it for me today, guys. It's Tuesday. I don't even know what damn day of the week it is. I haven't been to the gym in 4 days. I'm going today. After I get this video out and answer some client emails, it's like 4 in the afternoon. I'm so excited to go to the gym today. Honestly, the gym was closed. The hurricane was here. It was just a mess, so I didn't get in the gym. But it's Tuesday. I'm gonna train today, train tomorrow. Thursday, get up super early, going to Vegas. And Thursday, we're gonna go train in Vegas. Lauren will be there. My coach, Steven, is coming with me. Sad to say, my buddy Colin looks like he can't make it, but we're gonna have a good crew in Vegas. And I think Thursday night, we're gonna go to the Protein House thing. I don't know, there's something going on there that Lauren told me about. So yeah, we're gonna be having some fun. And then Friday and Saturday, there's something going on in Vegas, but we're gonna be there. So if you guys are in town for whatever reason, find us, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
By myself.